Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's video. I'm going to have a look at weather for the next 10 to 14 days. For today's video, day 10 will take us to the 26th of September, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. They're back today. They run to around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 for October at the end of the video. I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just say that the first video released today was our 6 AM upload. We've also released GMA Friday, so please check out those two videos if you would like to do that. Please like, share, subscribe on the vids, and we thank you so very much for doing that. So we're going to start off in the tropical Atlantic. We've got 3 interest areas. We've got 2 yellow X's, and we've also got Tropical Storm Fiona. So the 2 disturbance areas, disturbance 1 with a 10% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 and 5 days, and disturbance 2 with a 0% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 days, and just a 20% chance in the next 5 days. So we don't have to worry too much about those at this stage. We've also got Tropical Storm Fiona giving maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 1,004 millibars, moving westwards at 15 miles per hour. Clicking on Fiona and going here, we can see that this is going to retain tropical storm status through to middle of next week. So the current position is there. By the middle of next week, Fiona is there somewhere to the east of Cuba. We'll go through Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, and it looks like Fiona is heading towards the Bahamas at this point. Maybe Florida, although that's a long way away, but certainly looks like Fiona is getting close to the Bahamas. Of course, this is wide open space of water, so there will be quite a lot of energy available in terms of the sea surface temperatures at this point, through this wide open space of water, and still in business as a tropical storm, through to middle next week. So whether that could power up into a hurricane as it pushes through Bahamas and maybe heads towards the southeast part of America, have to wait and see. I think Fiona could be one to keep an eye on. At the moment, it doesn't look anything, that severe, although a tropical storm is going to be quite severe, of course, but not a hurricane. But I just get a thing about this. We probably have to keep an eye on what Fiona does through this wide open space of tropical water with so much energy provided. So I think Fiona's just one to watch at the moment. No more than that, but keep an eye on it. Right, central temperature is now under 17 degrees, so we're currently standing at 16.8, which is 3.3 degrees above average. That is provisional to yesterday, to the 15th of September. So halfway mark for the month, and we're over 3 degrees above average. Another very warm, very warm first half of the month. It can come down further, though, over the next few days. So I think this will be into the 15s. By the early part of next week, once we've got through the weekend and we get into the early part of next week, I think that will get into the 15s. So, yeah, it's coming down. Where we're going to land up remains to be seen. I've got a feeling we'll probably finish up somewhere between 15 and 16 degrees, or somewhere in the 15s, but we should wait and see. It's possible if we were to get some cool weather in the last week of the month, but we could probably pull that down under 15 degrees and get into the 14s, which I know some of you are waiting for reasons that I won't go into in this video. But let's just wait and see. I think like a 15, 16 degree finish, but we'll see. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're looking at Bradford today, so red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Bradford. We're starting off below average at the moment. Let's say generally below average as well over the weekend into the early part of next week. Middle next week sees a bit of a tick up in the upper air temperatures as we head on into the final week of September. We're reasonably close to average, but possibly slightly on the milder side. So that's why I'm thinking like a 15 to 16 Celsius finish for the CET, rather than being able to pull it under 15 degrees. But we'll wait and see. This might be a little bit overstated, this sort of milder final week to September. It is going to be more unsettled as well, so over the next week it looks very dry, but as we get into the last week of September, opening days of October, Quite a lot of precipitation spikes in there, so looks more unsettled as well. This might allow, you know, some cool days. We'll have to wait and see on that. Temperature anomaly is for the 16th, 24th September, about average. One or two places in the south-southwest below average. For Midlands, like a little bit above average. Not a particularly big deviation either way. Most parts of Europe looking really quite cool as well. And the precipitation anomaly from the 16th, 24th September is drier than normal. The later info on that from urbanoldschool.net shows that we're pulling in the wind from the north today, and it is coming from a long way north as well, right way from up here, plunging down, particularly the eastern side of the country through the North Sea. So that's why it's turning cooler. This is how you can make your own rain. It's looking midnight on Monday. High pressure then ridging in from off the Atlantic. We've been pretty cool there. And that high pressure sticks around into the middle of next week as well. We'll gradually start to bring some warmer air into that high pressure though. And then by the time we get through to the end of next week, low pressure comes in off the Atlantic. That brings further wet weather with it. Probably some quite heavy rain to the north and west. And behind that, we begin to pull the air back in from the North Atlantic, so it would turn cool as well. So like warmer for a couple of days, middle of next week, and then by the end of next week, probably behind that active cold front, bringing heavy rain, turning cooler. That kind of thing could be going on with that. I can't, again, with high pressure reaching through the country on Monday, being relatively cool air though, then the high pressure sticks around through to the middle next week. It starts to turn warmer as well, with the air coming up from the south-southwest, and then a trough of low pressure pushes through the country for the second half of next week. That takes some heavy rain with it, and we'll start to bring some cooler air in from off the North Atlantic as well. The GFS midnight run once more with the high pressure reaching through the country on Monday. Lots of dry and fine weather with that area of high pressure, and high pressure sticks around through to the second half next week. We pull the air in from a south or southeasterly direction off the continent. That starts to turn things warmer as well. Less of an influence from low pressure until next weekend with the GFS, and then low pressure begins to take over through the country. Rather a complex way for it to happen, but it certainly turns much more unsettled through the final week of September there, before we eventually push that trough through and we bring cooler air back in from off the Atlantic into the extreme range. Again, looks a little bit mixed into the beginning of October, with various troughs of low pressure coming and going. GFS 6 again showing that area of high pressure through the country on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, high pressure dominates. So lots of dry weather coming up next week, and gradually becoming warmer as well as the wind pulls back up from south and southwest. Low pressure is getting in across the country through the second half of next week. High pressure weakens, so probably turns showery the second half of next week, but not for long actually. High pressure back in as we get to day 10, which is the 26th of September, and then into the more extreme range. That high pressure once again going north, pulling back up towards Greenland and Iceland, allowing cooler and wetter weather in particularly across the south and east of the country by month's end. Back to high pressure again though by the end of the GFS 6 run, which is 2nd of October. High pressure back in. Winter coming back in from the east once more. If you're enjoying the video, then please do you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. We're on the way to 14.4k subscribers, so we thank you so very much for doing that. GM showing high pressure across the country on, no, we are at 4, what am I talking about? We are at 14.4k subscribers. We're on our way to 14.5k subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, GM showing high pressure through the country during the early to middle part of next week. Remember, high pressure pulling away into the second half next week, bring warm air up from the south for a while, but allowing low pressure in from up the Atlantic to bring showery outbreaks of rain. And then we head on towards the end of the GM run, which is day 10, with what looks like wet and windy weather starting to push into the north and into the northwest. And then the ECMWF finally has high pressure in control of weather through much of next week after a cool start. Starts to turn warmer, and then by the end of next week, a trough of low pressure pushes through the country. That brings some outbreaks of rain with it. And then we're back into high pressure conditions from the Azores by day 10 with the ECMWF. That brings drier and warmer air back to the south. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. Showers raining down the east coast on those northerly winds, but most places dry over the next few days. But then as we're heading towards this time next week, a trough of low pressure pushing through the country, taking showery outbreaks of rain with it, and then we're into rather showery conditions after that, especially so to the northwest, but a lot of dry weather down in the south. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. From the Icelandic Met Office gets us to 26th of September. They're back. 25 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure right over top of the country regime from the Azores, also dry, quite warm weather with that. 18 though have us under low pressure to our north and northeast. We bring quite a cool northwesterly wind with that. And then 8 with high pressure somewhere between Scotland and Iceland, low pressure over France, and winds are coming in from the east. That brings the wettest weather into the south. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 1st of October. 13 members of the ECM ensemble have some sort of weakish trough through the west of Europe, so that's a little bit showery. Another 13 with high pressure just out to our west and northwest. That's going to remain dry and quite cool, I would have thought, with that. Bring the wind in from the northeast. 10 with high pressure in the middle of the Atlantic. Again, mostly dry at that. Could be a little bit on the cool side with like a northwesterly. Number 10 with trough low pressure in Scandinavia and a ridge out in the Atlantic, so rather showery with that, northwest winds. And then 5 with high pressure out to our northwest, and that's mostly dry, but with winds in from the northeast, you would expect it to be a little bit on the cool side. Mist trough down to south, could be some wet weather into southern counties. Finally, just have a look at service V2 for October. So this is a 700 millibar height anomaly today for October, with a trough of low pressure over the UK and over northern Europe too. A ridge out in the Atlantic going up towards Greenland, so that is going to be rather unsettled and probably quite cool as well. The temperature anomaly is only about average, but I would have thought in that scenario, like a cooler month could be possible, possibly a bit cooler than average. Not much of a signal for precipitation, but you'll think a wetter than average month is quite likely as well with that pattern. So a bit of a change for October, but remember these charts do change on a day-by-day basis. And we're done. So if you've enjoyed the video, then please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. And drop a comment, let us know about this and all of our videos. Don't forget to click the bell and you'll be notified by YouTube when we release our content. Right, so just to see what's coming up tomorrow, we're going to start off with 6 AM upload. We will have the ECM WF 42-day forecast with a focus on the UK and Ireland. We'll have a weekend forecast and we'll have a 10 to 14 day as well. Busy day coming up at the channel tomorrow. Keep checking that for more. But for today's videos, that's all for now. And thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.